Studio check.
Frequencies check.
We are live on air.
You are listening to the In Fact Blessing the Airwaves. Take the journey into the world of sports, news, entertainment, while embracing the hottest beats on the planet. Rocking the mind, body, and with energy, electricity, and a splash of controversy. Now, without further ado, it's our pleasure to bring to you
The biggest show in the world.
The biggest show in the world.
the biggest show in the world, the SBTV Nation.
SBTV Nation, if your brackets were not busted prior to going into last night, holla.
Hey, Dream.
Today is a new day, and brackets have probably been broken up a little bit as Arizona goes down to Xavier last night. Gang, that's a bad loss.
It is a bad loss, Dream. You know what? And it's crazy how this all unfolded last night. I'm going to tell you a little story. So I went and was ballsy enough to moneyline Xavier. So I'm watching the game. First of all, the game started at like 11 o'clock at night, which was bananas because I get up at 5:30 every morning. So I'm like, oh, this is going to be a long, ugly night. So then I'm watching the game, and I'm watching it go back and forth, and I'm just watching the bigs of Arizona just dominate the offensive glass. And I was there was just no chance Xavier had to win this game. So I'm watching it. Now the second half comes along, and Arizona goes on a 10-0 run, goes up 6 points. I turn the game off. I shut it off. I'm like, that's it. It's over. I'm going to bed because I got to get up early tomorrow. Sure enough, I wake up this morning only to see that Xavier has shocked the world. Wow. The 11th seed, Dream.
Well, first of all, the zone. Arizona in this zone, and this is the reason why I didn't like Arizona to win their conference tournament. I had issues with Arizona versus UCLA.
Yep.
I thought when UCLA first unleashed that zone against Arizona in their regular season game, I was very dumbfounded as to why Arizona couldn't figure out how to solve it.
Mm-hmm.
When they moved forward in their conference tournament, it backed me off of Arizona because of that additive. But I figured still with some teams, even though you can implement a zone, Arizona's size would still just take advantage of your weak spots. Last night, the zone that Xavier used Arizona had no answers.
No answers at all, Dream. None at all. And you know what? Well, they did, and they should have won the game. That's the key. I mean, they should have definitely won the game. At the end, I mean, I watched the last 4 minutes in the highlight reel here. The shot selection was atrocious.
Yeah, the shot selection was bad. Some of the play calling was funny. Trier couldn't get it going consistently in the game. I mean, there's a lot of things you could point to reasons for their losing, but Xavier, it's one of those situations. The longer you let a team hang around and stay in the game and be competitive with you, Xavier would not be shaken. Xavier played the type of game and had the type of attitude that I wish Purdue had.
Oh, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. We will talk about that in 1 minute, Dream. Wow. Unbelievable how that all shook out. But, I mean, listen, you know what? Xavier just wanted it more.
But you could tell. You could tell. I talked about it yesterday. I said that Arizona would have problems running the floor with Xavier. And, I mean, that came to fruition as well. I don't understand why. I mean, everybody knows how to break down the damn zone. The 2-3 zones have been around forever. They're usually an Achilles heel. Teams throw them at other teams at spots in games to kind of try to slow some things down, not necessarily to play them throughout the game. With Arizona's size, there's no sense why a zone should beat that. You put the big man in the middle, you dribble penetrate to the middle. I mean, there's so many ways to beat the zone that Arizona is built to do, but yet was not able to execute yesterday. I don't get it.
Exactly. And you know what? I mean, this kid Trevin Blewett, unbelievable how he was. I mean, he had like 18 points in the first half, Dream.
Oh, it was dope. Yeah, he was phenomenal yesterday. I mean, they had a will. You know, Xavier had a will when they went out on the court. They had a will to play. They were not going to give up, and they were going to play hard throughout the whole game. And they never, I mean, outside from the very, very beginning, they never really let the thing get away from them. On the flip side of that, I think Arizona got a little bit of comfortability with their success at the beginning of this game and figured, we're just going to do our usual thing. In the second half, as tight as that was, when Arizona just could not seem to pull away, that's when the concern entered in. And it's some of, like you said, some of the shots that you saw Arizona settling for, as opposed to getting it down in the post and the inability to get it in there clean, it started being bothersome. And I was like, this looks like it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, you know what? I honestly, I was in the position where I was watching a game and I'm like, you know what? Because I was texting you back and forth. I said, Arizona's big. I just think that it's just too dominant and they're just going to wear out Xavier. And I mean, they out-rebounded him substantially, especially in the offensive glass. And it was driving me nuts. I'm like, oh, man. But
that's because they got tired from running the floor.
Yeah, and you know what? You got to tip your hat to Chris Mack. His coaching style is good. He calls timeouts at the right spots. Soon as he doesn't let him fall down too much. He kind of, puts everything in perspective. He changes up his defense, whether he's man or zone or whatever. I mean, he's doing a bunch of different things out there. The guy's good.
Yes.
You got to give it to him. He's good. So, you know what? Hey, Xavier moves on as an 11 seed, and that was a great money line play for me yesterday. Dream, moving on here, we got to talk about number 1, Gonzaga. Huggy Hugs blew it again.
Hugs blew it again. However, I'm going to give him a little bit of pass on this one. His guys played hard. The end game, Hugs needed to use his timeouts, to keep. He called timeouts in the right spot. It's unfortunate he didn't have a timeout for the last play. His guys, nobody wanted the ball. Well, Carter wanted the ball at the end of the game, but nobody else wanted to step up, and Carter really didn't want to give the ball to anybody else to step up. The in-game play was awful, especially considering the fact they could have went for a basket and fouled. They could have got an early basket and fouled. That was a dynamic that they could have used. I think without having that last timeout, with seconds left in the game, like the 28-second mark really hurt West Virginia. To me, West Virginia outplayed Gonzaga. I mean, everybody wants to be, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Somebody got on my case about pronouncing it, and I'm sorry if I pronounced it wrong. But to me, West Virginia outplayed them at a lot of points in the game. However, at the end, I think Gonzaga showed their poise and their class and outclassed them at the end of this game, and that led to be the difference.
One of the most strangest lines I saw was that under-over being 149 in that game, Dream.
We jumped all over it.
The minute I looked at it, I'm like, am I looking at this right? 149. Gonzaga is one of the best defensive teams in all of the nation. And you know what? I mean, West Virginia's defense was great too. And, I mean, we hit that by like 30 points. So that worked out pretty well for us, Dream. It
worked out excellent. Unfortunately, mine was coupled with Arizona.
Oh, no.
It was a move. No. The night was dope. I mean, the night was dope because I had Oregon. We talked about Oregon. I had Oregon. Oregon won. So I basically got a split with the hockey, son. That's why your boy, because I know I've been asked prior, why do you give out hockey?
Why are you on hockey, son? What are you?
Because hockey, by the way, saves the day. Saved the day again last night.
Going back to Gonzaga, Dream, they're in the Elite Eight now. And they got to play Xavier.
Yes.
And I looked at the line. Gonzaga's given them 8 points.
Wow.
I don't know about that. Listen, I'm high on Gonzaga. I think they're going to face Kansas for the national championship. That's the way I got it unfolded in my brackets. But I don't know if they have any business giving Xavier 8 points. That's an awfully lot of points to start off with.
I think it's a lot of points, but based on, it's an 11 versus a 1 hat.
It is an 11. Okay. All right. If you want to put it like that, that makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
It totally does.
11 versus the 1. The one thing, I don't see Xavier. Obviously Xavier's not supposed to be there, and I have to reevaluate this.
Oh my God!
Because I'm not the biggest fan of Gonzaga, and you know that. I've already talked about them, but I don't see Xavier having a lot of success against Gonzaga. But it's something to talk about when that game matches up. I need to go take some more looks and figure some things out with this particular matchup. So we'll have to talk about that when time comes.
I don't know, Dream. Listen, you know what? I've been, ever since Gonzaga started this tournament, obviously, I was talking about them getting it done. But Arizona has more bigs than Xavier, and that was going to be their way to win the game, being Arizona. Gonzaga has Karnowski. I get it. You know what I mean? But I really feel like these are I think this is going to be two contrasting styles here. And I believe that both of these coaches are really good. Gonzaga's coach and Chris Mack over there at Xavier.
Gonzaga plays a different type of basketball than Arizona. Obviously, they don't have the bigs, but still, their guard play and the way they play in their sets are a lot different than Arizona. And yesterday on the show, I talked about West Virginia's zone not being very effective against Gonzaga, which to me came to fruition is they just showed that they were able to execute and adequately play against that zone. West Virginia really didn't impress Gonzaga a lot.
They did sometimes. And it worked. Exactly. It worked okay. They were forcing them into some timeouts and stuff like that. But you know what? At the end of the day, Gonzaga gets it done and hits the right shots.
Right, and that's why I believe that I think Gonzaga is going to have a lot of success against Xavier in that standpoint. I've seen Xavier this season in some spots, and I know it's different now, but we talked about they've got some really dreadful losses to some really bad teams. And I know you get a lot of momentum now going into it, but, I look at some of the teams that beat them, Marquette, Seton Hall, Providence.
Well, those are all good teams. Those are all 20-win. Those are all 20-win teams.
Providence is a good team.
They're all 20-win teams. I could be wrong. Maybe they're a little less than that, but
they lost to Colorado. They've had some bad losses. Losses to some teams that I think Gonzaga is a lot better than. So I don't know. I like what Xavier did last night. I thought they played out of their minds. They stepped up. They played out of their games. I think they were very impressive. But this is one of those situations of in the Big East in this tournament, you get situations just like getting a game to overtime just to lose. So yeah, you got through Arizona, but you lose your next game. And that's just how I feel.
So you got the Zags in the Final Four.
I unfortunately do.
Wow.
Because they're playing Xavier.
Oh man, Dream.
If they were playing Arizona, I had them getting beat, but that particular bracket, that whole side of the bracket just did not work out.
Not for you, anyway.
That whole side you had. Okay, so you didn't have Villanova in the Final Four?
I had in the Final Four. Let's see. I'll tell you right now. My Final Four was Kansas, UCLA, Gonzaga, and SMU over Villanova. That's what I had.
Okay, so your side of that bracket's that top part's a mess.
Oh, it's been a mess. It's been a mess ever since SMU went down. But you know what? I got a lot of help when Villanova went down. And you know what? I'm creeping up the ladder, Dream. And you know what? Let's have a conversation about Purdue, please. Can we talk about how Purdue got absolutely murdered, one of the biggest beatdowns of the tournament to date? That's a bigger beatdown. That's like North Carolina and the 16 seed. Or
they
Kansas.
Couldn't stop, they couldn't stop the. They just couldn't stop. I mean, they just were bad. I got no explanation for Purdue. I got no explanation for them. Their big guys didn't play like they were supposed to. I mean, Swanigan was, had a good game, but he just didn't. He didn't perform like he should have. It just got beat. I mean, it was a beatdown. I mean, I don't really have any explanation for it. It just was a beatdown. I still, Kansas was extremely, extremely, extremely efficient and looked really good yesterday. I will admit that I did not think Kansas was going to be that successful. They were extremely successful in that game. I still not. I have to give you props about Kansas. If you look at that game in comparison to any other games in the tournament up till now, that's the most impressive win, beatdown, execution that I've seen to date. Now the whole problem is you hope that they didn't blow it all on that game, because there's still a lot of games left to be played.
Right on. And you know what, Dream? I mean, they never panicked. In the beginning, when they were down like 8 points. They still came out like with their chests in the air, like with this swagger. Like, it's no problem. We're gonna murder Purdue. And sure enough, all of a sudden, they're within 4, they're within 3, they're within 2, and sure enough, then they take a 4-point lead, and then it was just hell to pay after that for the Purdue Boilermakers. Unbelievable, man. And you know what?
Purdue went into panic mode though too.
Yeah, they have a lot of. The thing is that they have a lot of offensive options. Dream, you got to give it to them. And
I'm not going to give it to them.
Okay. All right, all right. So let me just ask you a question now, because this thing is a disaster.
I still think Kentucky, UCLA, and North Carolina are better than Kansas.
Okay. All right. Well, we shall see.
And unfortunately, Kansas will only have to play one of those.
All right, so moving on here, Dream, just real quick. Oregon sneaks by Michigan. Curse of the conference champion. Michigan goes down.
Yeah, I'm not a little crazy about that.
Okay.
I know you keep talking about the conference champion thing, but I mean, Michigan played a great game. That was a good game yesterday. The Oregon-Michigan game was a good game. It was a good chess match, but Oregon comes out on top. This Oregon team, is good, and Kansas shouldn't take Oregon lightly.
No, absolutely not. I'm totally with you, because Oregon can shoot, man. Every time I looked up at the screen, I saw them draining threes. I'm like, this team will just not go away.
Yeah, shouldn't take Oregon lightly. I do think Kansas will probably beat Oregon, but they shouldn't take them lightly. Oregon, great game on their part. They were able to, shut down some of the things that Michigan likes to do. I think what was really important was not letting Michigan get to the foul line. Their inability to get, in the bonus and getting them not in the foul line early proved to be very important for Oregon in their down the stretch.
Well, we talked about it. I mean, it pretty much the early games went exactly as we talked about. I was big on Kansas. I had no faith in Purdue to win that game whatsoever, but I didn't think it was going to be a 32-point beatdown, Dream. I did not see that happening. And you know what? I did say that Xavier did have a shot to beat Arizona, and sure enough, it all worked out. So let's move on. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk about your boy LeVar Ball for a minute. This guy's an idiot, man.
Oh, you're just getting to that now.
Wow.
I talked about
He is like 10 times more animated than you. He is. This guy is. Dude.
But hold on. Before we give the LeVar Ball correlation to the dream, which good look, but no thanks. Dude says anything, though. And that's my problem with him. He says anything. And the problem with him, don't get me wrong. It's great for him. I mean, look where he's at the Jessica Sports Center, on the Stephen A. Smith First Take show, Charles Barkley talking about him. So all of his big mouth is definitely, working in his favor.
Yeah, I agree. And you know what? It's you're one of the biggest advocates of negativity brings ratings. And you know what? He's.
I tried to had to have all the guys that hated us on the program.
Yeah, right. You know what'll happen though? They'll be calling. They'll be calling every single day. Yeah, they'll be calling every single day trying to get on.
But I didn't want to do it because I know our ratings would be through the roof if we did that because people love hearing that stuff. Why? We gave out all those plays yesterday. What do I wake up to? Caleb Swanigan, the most athletic guy on the floor. Funniest thing I ever heard. Well, if you got out of your basement.
Wow.
It caught a little comedy sometimes. That might have not been the funniest thing you ever heard.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? The guy is the thing is that, when you start attacking other players' kids and stuff like that, that's a little too far. You got to relax.
That's too far. And not only the issue is this with him. Your kid, okay, yeah, he's a talented player. It's just starting off for him. And he looks good. But right now, it's already tough enough to have success in sports on a collegiate level.
Yep.
It's going to be even tougher to have success in sports on a professional level. In the meantime, you put this big target on your kid's chest, and now everybody who does something against him or is matched up against him has that extra oomph to throw at him, to play mind games with him. Oh, tell your daddy I dunked on you. To ask your daddy how you feel about this three. Then you're going to go into the pros, and we know you could be bananas in college. Get the pros and stink.
You know what's hilarious is that he averaged 2.2 points per game, and he said he could beat MJ one-on-one.
I know, but my thing is, you get to the pros. My thing is, you get to the pros. I'm not even worried about him because his life is different. I'm just worried about why would you do that to your kids, though?
Yeah,
why would you do that to your sons?
He thinks it's a brilliant He thinks it's a brilliant marketing strategy.
Yeah,
that's his thing.
It's a brilliant marketing strategy if your kids stink. If you want them to have success, though, and great success in the next level, it's not a brilliant marketing strategy to me because a lot of people are agitated by the things that he says, and the kids got to deal with that and address that in the locker rooms behind the scenes with the other people that they're playing with.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just not. Listen, if your kid's good, you just don't want to put that much extra added pressure on them, in my opinion.
I understand. Fast Eddie, thank you very much for those fantastic images that you sent over here. We really appreciate that, as always. So, Dream, what else you got? I did get beat with the New York Knickerbockers with a double-digit spread. They came close. I saw them down like 21, and then all of a sudden within 12, and I was getting 11.5, and I was like, maybe I'm going to get it. Sure enough, no good. No good. But whatever, it is what it is. I'll just get one tonight and make up for it. No big deal. Considering the fact that it's been like 70% ever since I plugged it. But
hey, don't try to plug the positive of it Caperish style.
I'm hitting 58.6%, Dream. It's over the long haul, Dream. But all the losses are in the cheap package.
I lost last night and got murdered, but I'm for the season.
Caperish.
Money management.
Yes. Money management, Dream. All right, so what else we got?
All right. Why'd you go there with me? You know better than that.
Yes. Come on.
Why'd you go there with me?
Yeah, over the long haul, Dream, double-digit dogs have been substantially profitable, especially in college basketball and pro basketball.
Well, me, I'm going to talk hockey. You know me, I'm all about the hockey right now.
Come on. When's your hockey package going to be available, Dream?
I'm murdering the hockey package. I can't even keep them on the table. The hockey packages are in such high demand right
now. I remember the Dream was hitting me up and saying how he was having an awful day, couldn't get anything to work. I said, go buy a package. Get yourself dead right. If you're tired of doing what you're doing, Dream, take a look at yourself. Take a look at the mirror and say, what am I doing? And go get a package. But anyway, what else we got, man?
Well, I guess we got to get into
We got to get into tonight, right? It's here. Guys, we got the second half of the Sweet 16 getting ready to go down this evening, and it starts right off at 7:09 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Number 1 North Carolina versus number 4 Butler. Butler is 25-8 on the year. North Carolina 29-7. North Carolina minus 7.5. Under over of 153.5. Dream, this game smells trouble for your boy Roy Williams. I don't know why. I feel it. I feel it. I feel it. Kid, if North Carolina goes down, how's your bracket looking?
Here we go.
I'm just saying, if they go down, what's your bracket looking like?
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. If Kansas goes down, how does your bracket look?
I still got Gonzaga in the championship game, so I'm okay. I'm okay. And I got Xavier in the future, so I'm even better.
Stop. And everybody, okay. Go ahead and take Butler.
Money line.
Go ahead. Punch the Butler in money line, and then show me the tickets.
Okay.
All right? That's what I'm saying. But listen, North Carolina's not losing to Butler today, gang. I'm just going to let you know that. It's not going down.
I don't know if I'm ballsy enough to do that because I don't know.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know because you know what? I got to pull off Xavier with this Gonzaga game now because I'm so torn in that game. But you know what it is with Butler? Butler just, granted, Xavier was inconsistent at times during the year, but Butler had some bad losses, Dream, towards the end of the season, which bothered the hell out of me. I mean, when they lost to Xavier and Seton Hall in their building, that was the problem. And actually, I'm sorry, Xavier was in the Big East Championship, but I don't know. The Seton Hall loss really bothered me. I don't know. I mean, I'm still waiting for North Carolina. North Carolina should not be here, Dream. They shouldn't be here, but they willed their way. They played defense at the end, and Arkansas just could not capitalize.
Here we go.
So you're saying North Carolina wins. Do they roll or not?
I think North Carolina rolls.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I think that they're, I've talked about their athleticism before. I've talked about their ability to run the floor. I've talked about Meeks is definitely a monster in the inside, down low in the post game. I think they're a little bit too big for Butler, personally. And I don't see Butler. I don't see Butler in this game. I think that, and a lot of people are going to base it on North Carolina's Arkansas game. You're entitled to have a big game, and you're entitled to slip up in some spots. Let's not forget, North Carolina did push out to a commanding lead against Arkansas before they decided to want to play around, which I don't know what that was all about. So you get your scare in the tournament, which is nice. It wakes you up.
Yeah, okay.
Hopefully, all week long they were told, hey, we're going to stay focused this game and not play around. I expect them to come out a little bit commanding, and I expect them to play a much better game against Butler than they did against Arkansas. And by the way, Arkansas was kind of dope.
Yeah, they weren't bad. That's why I moneylined them. I said, you know what? Let me throw $170 on them. Why not? At his money line. And sure enough, I was inches away from that one. But taking a look at the smart chart, believe it or not, what's that?
Story of your life.
Oh, you want me to flash the Xavier ticket at you? Because I'm more than willing to do it. I will.
What do you want?
I'm gonna show you Xavier ticket from last night when we get off the air.
No! I'm just teasing. Stop getting touched.
You know what? North Carolina has a substantial edge on the boards here, Dream. They're averaging about 28 boards defensively, 16 offensively. Butler is like far less than that, probably like 40% less. You know what? Butler's going to have to shoot the lights out tonight to win this game.
No doubt.
And you know what? Their 3-point perimeter shooting is not all that impressive. I mean, it's 7.67 per game. Puts them somewhat in the middle of the road. I'm with you with North Carolina. I think they're going to win the game, but I would love to see them go down.
Yeah, because you know that they can beat Kansas.
No.
Yeah.
There's no. Dude, honestly, I picked Kansas for a reason. I don't feel like they're getting beat.
All right.
Okay.
I know you don't because you picked them, and we know how biased you can be about your picks. I don't have to go on the litany of teams that you picked to win something that you biasly on this program have talked about, and we've seen them go down in flames.
How's Arizona looking right now, Dream?
I got the Pac-12 to win.
You got
not just Arizona.
Well, shame on you because Pac-12 is not going to win anything.
Well, we still got a lot of Pac hanging.
Yeah, you still got two teams left. You got who do you got? You got UCLA and you got Oregon.
I got UCLA and I got Oregon. UCLA, by the way, is a pretty good look.
Yeah, it is a good look. As long as your boy can keep his mouth shut and not distract his son.
Nah, that can't happen, which is very bothersome to me.
Yeah, okay.
But speaking of UCLA, let's move forward to the UCLA-Kentucky matchup, what looks to be the best game on the board tonight.
You want to move forward? You want to skip over South Carolina-Baylor?
No, we could go back to them, but since we brought up UCLA, let's just skip that and go back. I'm real excited about the UCLA-Kentucky matchup. I think it's going to be a great matchup, and it's going to really battle test both teams. And the team moving forward should be that much better in this particular matchup. I got UCLA winning its game. I think UCLA with Mr. Ball, I think that they have the better team in this situation, but it's not by a lot. This Kentucky team has shown me a lot, shown me a little bit down the stretch. I've been very impressed with them, especially in this tournament so far. And one thing we know about Kentucky, their coaching staff will stop them from taking 3-point shots if they're not falling, which is a great, to me, additive for a team.
Right on. Well, I'm looking at this right now. UCLA versus Kentucky. They both have 31 wins. The line is even. It's a pick 'em. So they have a total here of 166.5. Obviously, that's apropos considering the fact that UCLA is the top scoring team in the nation. But Lonzo Ball isn't even their leading scorer. You got TJ Leaf, who is, believe it or not. This is going to be an interesting game, Dream. You know what? For some reason, I don't see this game being a track meet. I think Calipari's going to try to slow this down a little bit.
Oh, no, I see this game being I see it being a track meet.
You think so?
Calipari may want to slow it down. I don't – either one of these teams are a slow-down, half-court set type offense. So I definitely see, Kentucky wants to run just like UCLA wants to run.
I don't know if that's the – I don't know. I don't think that's the right recipe to win. I don't
think it's the right recipe to win either, but when you got two Pumas out on the court, you're going to get running.
8 out of the last 9 Kentucky games have all gone under. 6 of the last 8 UCLA games have gone under. I don't think Kentucky should run with them. I really don't. Listen, Coach, Killer Cal is going to figure out his own thing, obviously. Who am I? I'm just saying that. I don't know if that's the right move here. You want to run with the number 1 scoring team in the nation? Not me. Sorry. I think you kind of try to slow this thing down.
I gotta say though, if you're gonna give me the 8 out of the last, if you're gonna give me those stats, let's talk about the teams that they played though.
I'm talking, but that's totals, Dream.
No, I know it's totals, but if the other teams offensively stink, that's not the greatest stat to run. They haven't played anybody with the offense of UCLA. No,
it's all SEC teams.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm getting at. So that's a skewed stat as far as I'm concerned.
I disagree. I disagree with you because they don't make the total this inflated, Dream. The total is going to be 20 points less in those matchups. And they're substantially less.
Are you going to take the under?
Think
is that what you're trying to do?
I'm going to look at this. I'm taking a look at Kentucky has not scored more than 83 points since the beginning of February.
I love how you skew stats to fit your gambling.
Listen.
That's so Trumpish.
How Trumpish?
That's so Trumpish. I'm gonna forget that UCLA is one of the highest scoring teams in all of college basketball. Forget that Kentucky likes to run, because I want to take the under. I'm going to say that they're.
Well, let me ask you a question, okay? Let me ask you a quick question. Let's talk about the pack real quick. Let's talk about USC. Let's talk about Arizona. Yeah. Do you feel those teams are great defensive teams and it would be less of a track meet? Because UCLA only put up 75 points in the loss to Arizona. And the other Arizona game, 77 points. Versus USC, they put up 76. Dream, I like the under. I'm taking the under. Listen, I may get punched in the face, but 166, I can see this being like an 87, 78, and just get right under it. That's where I'm at. Taking under 166.
All right.
So, good luck to you on whatever you do. You taking UCLA or are you taking Kentucky?
I am not going to play this game. I'm going to be like a capper. And not take a marquee game. I'll give you some total on some booty game in the CIT going down tonight.
You know what? Frank Vinculato was telling me that there's a good chance this could go into overtime, and I'm glad you mentioned that, because anytime I take the under, what I'd like to do is plug a couple dollars in on the prop of the game going to overtime, because it pays stupid, and it's a great way to back you up. And you know what, Dream? If that happened last night with Press Virginia and Gonzaga, there was a chance we would have hit both, because it was so far under that if it went to overtime, we were still good.
Right.
So that's something to take a look at to back yourself up as far as the totals are concerned. But, yeah, no, I like the under. I'm going under with this. I really am. Because you said it. Listen, Kentucky's shooting threes, and Calipari's not feeling it. He's going to call the timeout, tell him to stop it.
I just think that Kentucky will either one of these teams are going to back down if they want to run.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, you're right. Calipari will try to get his squad to stop. I don't think UCLA will stop. And then you're going to see, like I said, you're going to see that track meet. And both teams, there's the athleticism out there. I just feel like it's going to be a lot of scoring tonight in this game. But 166 is a lot, especially for a college basketball game. I hear you. I mean, that is a lot. So, I get it.
You only need a couple of.
I get it.
You only need a couple of droughts, because you got all that time on the shot clock. You got a ton of time, and you know what? Let the time run down to 3, 2, 1, and then shoot and have a bad shot, and now you're playing transition defense. I mean, hey, listen, a couple of droughts and you're right there, but a couple of scoring frenzies, then you're in trouble. But all right, anyway.
My only issue is Notre Dame. Last game, what was it? Notre Dame. Who they played their last game?
Notre Dame, West Virginia.
Notre Dame, West Virginia ended at 154 with Notre Dame's putrid offense.
Not in that game. They were lights out in that game. They kept shooting and shooting and shooting. You know that.
No, but they still don't run. Notre Dame doesn't run, and Notre Dame got sped up by the. They did shoot, but they got sped up by the press. But they still ended up landing at 154, 155, whatever it was. It bothers me that those two teams were able to put up those kind of points, which to me are anemic in offenses compared to these two.
Okay. Well, you know what? I'm just painting a picture of what I think Calipari is going to do, and I think he's going to try to slow it down just a touch. So anyway.
Why? Because he knows that you got the under.
Yeah, good point. All right. South Carolina versus Baylor, Dream. This is a nasty game, man.
Very nasty.
Ooh, two different styles here. You got South Carolina, who is 24-10. You got Baylor, 27-7. Baylor minus 3.5. Under over 135. You know what? I think Baylor wins, and it's crazy to say that, but I think they win.
Why is it crazy to say that? South Carolina's a 7. Not supposed to be.
I know, but you know what? They just came off of, well, I don't even want to call it impressive beating the Dukies, because we talked about the Dukies stinking. How's Bud Cheddar doing, by the way? How you doing, buddy? All right, but anyway, this kid Thornwell for South Carolina.
You don't catch no feelings.
Yeah, no.
You guys lose, you're mad sensitive. When we lose, it's hey, Dream. What was that?
Watch out for the Mad Hatter in that contest, because you know what? All the people that are right there, not many of them had Kansas to win at all. So, Dream, in this game here, the under-over is 135. I think that's right on the number. It's in Madison Square Garden. There's nothing you could do to have me put my money on this game. I'm good with it.
Yeah, I don't particularly like this game either, because I don't know what you're going to get out of these two teams. You know, the question is South Carolina so feeling themselves after beating Duke that was, you know, their championship? And that's what you worry about this game, because, you know, yeah, you beat Duke, but so what? You still got to move forward. Now you got another game this week. Baylor, on the flip side, you know, disappointment last season in this tournament, looking to, you know, prove that they're for real and not there by mistake. A little bit, you know, probably pensive and want to get this game played, and maybe a little bit happier if they're seeing South Carolina than to be seeing the Duke, as a lot of people thought they would see. And hopefully poised to take advantage of this situation. This is going to be an interesting game to see the will of ways. I happen to agree with you. I'm leaning Baylor.
All right. Final game on the ticket here, number 8 Wisconsin versus number 4 Florida. Wisconsin 27-9 on the year. Florida 26-8. Florida is favored in this matchup -1.5. Dream. I can't
talk enough about Florida's coaching staff.
Yeah.
Can't talk enough about Florida's coaching staff. Not only are they new, not only are they, you know, coming behind a guy that had a lot of success, they're creating their own success, and then they lose their center and still haven't managed to skip that much of a beat. I'm very impressed with what Florida's been able to do. Very impressed with this team, and I do not like Wisconsin. Okay. And I have not liked Wisconsin at all. I haven't liked them throughout the season. They've been inconsistent. I haven't liked them. You know, I didn't think that they were going to get this far. They've gotten much further than I thought they were going to get. I do think that things will stop for them there. I like Florida in this spot, but I like to put them in a teaser with North Carolina.
I am on the complete opposite side of you. Okay. I'm seeing a lot of magic here with Wisconsin, and this team is battle-tested. I mean, listen, this team, Dream, they won a couple of games last year in the tournament. You know, between Hayes and Happ, I mean, the kid Hayes is great, man. He's a very, very athletically gifted kid. And when you look at this here, Wisconsin only gives up 61.7 points a game. I got to be honest with you. I think they have the charm. I think you're a little skewed with the last victory for Florida. Dream, it was versus Virginia. I want you to think about that for a second.
I know Wisconsin doesn't play defense as good as Virginia does.
They're similar. They're close. They're close.
Come on.
And I'm serious. 61 points a game.
You seriously biased today. What's up with you?
Because I know what I'm talking about, player. When you look at Wisconsin, they're number 11 in all of college basketball as far as points per game, Dream. 61.8 points per game. Virginia was just under them, 5 points less. It's not that big of a difference. I think
Virginia is hands down a much better defense than Wisconsin.
Okay,
hands
well,
down.
All right. So even if that's the case, Wisconsin offensively is a way better team. Wisconsin, in their victories over the last couple of weeks, have really showed me something. Almost like Xavier-ish. I think Wisconsin wins this game today. I'm going to take them as an underdog. I think they beat Florida. I think Wisconsin's in the Elite Eight. So that's where I'm at.
Wisconsin loses to Michigan 71-56.
I understand.
You lose to Michigan State 84-74. You lose to Ohio State 83-73.
When was that, Dream?
I know, but I'm just saying. Before I'm going to go crazy with this Wisconsin, I can't go crazy with Wisconsin. Wisconsin did play an excellent game against Villanova. Mm-hmm. I will give them that. I think there's a lot of inconsistency in this team, and I'm sorry. We are going to go opposite tonight, which I don't really like to do, but we've done it before. I'm gonna go with Florida. Now I don't love Florida. I wish there was a couple more elements to Florida that we had. Like I wish they had their center.
Yep.
But I think this coaching staff's gonna be poison. I like the Florida coaching staff over the Wisconsin coaching staff. I'm going with Florida in this game.
Body of work over the last 6 games. Minnesota, victorious. Indiana, victorious. Obviously, those 2 teams didn't really go too far in their respective tournaments, being the NI Tizzle and the Big Dance. Northwestern, they beat. They beat Vatek, and they beat Villanova. And the only one loss being to Michigan. Dream, Wisconsin is on a roll. Wisconsin wins tonight. So, that's it. All right. I got to move on because I got to get this whole thing going here, Dream. We got to move to another sport. We got to move to the NBA and have a quick conversation about what's going on. I see my boy is playing tonight, and they're playing at the Charlotte Hornets, and I got to be honest with you. I think Cleveland wins this game. I'm going to take the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight, is provided, hopefully, they don't rest any players. If they're at full strength, they're winning this game. So I'm taking Cleveland Cavaliers to come off the Denver loss. I know the Denver loss stung my boy a little bit. I think they come back and roll here. I like them over Charlotte. They had a day off. I'm all over it. So I'm going to do a parlay. I'm going to take Cleveland and parlay it with Wisconsin. And that's going to pay incredible. Where are you at?
I like Cleveland tonight. I like the Cavs to bounce back. I think they're going to, I like Cleveland tonight. I'm going to take them tonight. I'm not going to get wrapped up into Kemba Walker in March. Because it is March and it is Kemba Walker for the Hornets. The Hornets are 20-15 at home. The Cavs haven't really been good on the road. But right now the spread is at -2.5.
Right.
Which I think it's – I agree with you. You know, LeBron's been in the news a little bit. The last loss stung him. It's a tough spot, but I happen to agree with you. I think that you're right in this game.
Yeah, I'm going to take my boy tonight. I love it.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think they win by honestly, they're going to cover that spread too. But
right. I just want to get down. I want to jot down your plays here because I know you got because I'm going to have to be in your behind tonight because I know you got Butler, Wisconsin.
I'm not taking Butler. I'm not going to do it. No. I was ballsy enough to do Xavier. I was ballsy enough to do Arkansas the other night. I was ballsy enough to do who else was it? I forgot. Going back a couple of weeks. I'm not doing it. Not this time.
All right, so we got Wisconsin.
We got Wisconsin and the Cavs so far. And the under in UCLA versus Kentucky.
Okay.
Okay?
I got your stuff down. You're adamant about your stuff. You manipulated the stats to work in your favor. Trumpish. So we'll call your package the Trump package this evening. Golden State Warriors are playing the Sacramento Kings tonight in Golden State. They are given 17.5. Are you on the Sacramento Kings?
Yes, sir. Plus 17.5. I'm going to wait till it climbs to 18.5 and grab it.
Okay.
That's where I'm at. Another spot, too, I want to give you, Dream.
Yeah.
You might want to take a look at the Atlanta Hawks, who have lost 5 straight games. They have to win at some point, and they're a 5.5-point underdog. That might be a really good spot to get involved in as well.
I do see that. I'd rather wait for the Hawks to get home.
Okay.
You know, they got the cancer Dwight Howard on that team, so I'd rather wait for them to get home as opposed to trying to take them on the road. Milwaukee 20-16 at home, and the Hawks haven't been great on the road, 18-17 on the road. So yeah, I'd rather wait for them to get home. The spot you might want to look at, but unfortunately, it's too many points, and I wouldn't give. I like the Celtics tonight to win. I wouldn't give 15 points though. That's ridiculous.
Celtics are given 16. I got 16 on my board. All right.
That's ridiculous.
Well, got a couple double-digit underdogs there, Dream.
You got to take the Suns.
Yes. Oh, and there's another one here, too. Washington's given 12 to the Brooklyn Nets.
And the Washington one would beware of.
Okay. Yeah, because Brooklyn is 5-29 away. They've actually won some games away over the last month. You know? So, all right. So, what do you got for hockey?
All right. Really quick, it's going to be the Pittsburgh Penguins over the Islanders. And I'm going with the Sharks again against this Dallas Stars team. I've had a lot of success against the Stars, so I'm going to go there again. This one might bite me in the face. but I'm gonna take the Sharks again tonight against the Stars. I'm gonna put the Pittsburgh Penguins and the San Jose Sharks together and try to get this win. Hopefully, Dell can keep the Stars out of the goal.
Damn. Well, the Sharks have lost 4 in a row, Dream.
Yeah, I know, which is another reason why I like them to bounce back this evening, and especially against that Dallas Stars team that I don't really particularly care for.
All right, sounds good. So we're ready to get up out of here, guys. It's Friday. We got a massive show going on tomorrow on Sunday with the Evil Genius. And tomorrow we're going to have an announcement. We are going to be moving the time of our show, guys. We're not going to be doing it in the morning anymore. We're going to be switching it around. There's a possibility that it may still be weekends, mornings, but we'll have that conversation. But, it's going to give everybody a chance to really get in touch to listen to us live on the air, because most of you guys, I'd say about 75 to 80% of you listen to a recorded show. So it'd be a lot better for us to do this at a different hour. So Dream and I are going to talk about it, and we will get back to you and let you know. And we're pretty damn excited about switching up the time here at Biggest Show in the World. So Dream,
yes,
let's get up out of here, brother.
Let's get up out of here. Gang, I got to thank everybody that's retweeted. Joseph Del Rosario, Terrence Mack, Vegas Jack, Deeks Pigs, good to see you out there, Deke. KMVU, Marlon is in the house. We got JC in the house, as well as Mr. Charlie over at Direct Sports Solution. INT is out there, Benjamin Rowe, my man, Urban Fast, 8072, Shane Whitehead, Cash Action Bets, Vegas Girl, 92661, Wooch GG, Bang the Books, just to name a few. OJFB is out there in the house as well. I want to send a big shout out to Sin City Maverick. Also want to send shouts out to Papa Bear, Jeff Ryan, Jim Rome is a douche, and Tiger Clinch. Always good to see you too. As far as the plays are concerned, and as far as I'm concerned, I am on North Carolina. I am probably going to tease it. I like North Carolina, and I also like Florida this evening. Hat and I are going against each other with the Florida play. He likes Wisconsin. I like Florida. I'm probably going to tease North Carolina and Florida. I may jump on the under in the UCLA-Kentucky game. But if I do, I'm going to put in a teaser as well, and I'm going to buy it up some points. So if I jump on the under in the UCLA-Kentucky, I may add 6 points to that and take it from, I believe it's at 166.
166, baby.
I'm probably taking it to the 172 range, which I feel a lot more comfortable with. I agree with him about the Cleveland Cavaliers, and I just told you about the hockey, which is going to be the San Jose Sharks and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Guys, be very careful. We still got a whole lot of gambling to do, a whole lot of stuff to do over the weekend as these games progress on. Hopefully the brackets are somewhat still in check. For those of you that are not, thank you so much for playing. And obviously, we'll see you again next year. I'm the Dream. Always remember who you with. Make the most of each and every day. You cannot get this time back.
Cleveland Cavaliers, Wisconsin Badgers, Kentucky, UCLA under 166. $100 pays $537. Dream, great play. I'm on it. That's it. You know what? And imagine if I added.
I'm gonna kill you, son, if your stuff go over.
What's that?
I'm gonna get at you if your stuff blows up in my face because I'm on a little bit of your stuff.
You're on a little bit of my stuff.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm letting you talk me into this under with these two wild teams, but I'm kind of sipping the Kool-Aid this morning.
You want to get some Butler added to it? Money line, $100 pays $2,227. $2,227.
Me and Terrence Mack gonna have the slow tracks playing for you tonight.
All right, brother.
Flowers.
Guys, we love you to death. Go out there, go easy, enjoy your weekend, make all your dreams a damn reality, and get that money. Let's go.